Hello, YouTube live stream. I am on here to talk about the lyrical content in hip hop. This is deeper than music. This is deeper than rap. Hip hop is deeper than music. It's deeper than rap. It's all about lyrical content. Okay? The lyrical content. That's what's important. The lyrical content. And I'm on here to share about the explicit lyrical content in hip hop. Okay. That's what I'm on here to share because a lot of people are caught up with the lyrical content, the lyrical content in hip hop. That's what I'm on here to share about. I thank y'all for tuning in though to this message. So I'm speaking to anybody who may be watching this. Hip hop is deeper than music. It's deeper than music. Back in the 80s, hip hop used to be about content, the lyrical content. Okay. And today people just catch on to the beat. But I'm talking about the lyrical content in hip hop today. The content. Because that content is what catches people's attention. Proverbs 12:13. It says, evildoers are trapped by their sinful talk, so the innocent escape trouble. Sinful talk in hip hop. Evildoers are trapped by their sinful talk, but the innocent escape trouble. So sinful talk. The rappers in hip hop and the consumers are trapped. They're trapped by sinful talk. And the lyrical content does have an effect on people. The content. This ain't got nothing to do with music. This the content. It says over in Romans, because this is what's going on. Okay? Let's go over in Romans right here in the Bible. And it talks about that. And it says in Romans 5, offering yourself to sin as an instrument of wickedness, but rather offer yourself to God as those who have been brought from death to life. Offer every part of yourself as an instrument of righteousness, for sin shall no longer be your master. So the lyrical content in hip hop does have an effect on men and women, especially with the twerking lyrics. When the women are taking off their clothes to explicit content, it does have an effect on them. I ain't talking about the music, I'm talking about the lyrics, because the women who are taking off their clothes to explicit lyrics, it does have an effect on them. And right here in the Bible, it says in Romans 5, whatever you give yourself over to, you become a slave to. There's a lot of women who listen to explicit content and they can't see. They think they just jamming. It's not jamming. It's calling them all out their name and they twerking and taking off their clothes and they giving themselves over to that. There's a lot of men and women who are giving themselves over to explicit content. Whatever you give yourself over to, people are giving themselves over to violent stuff. Twerking lyrics in hip hop. The women are giving, it's taking over their mind. The lyrical content in hip hop. It says right here in Romans, it says, whatever you offer yourself over to. Do you not know when you offer yourself to someone as a slave or be a slave, you're a slave to the one you obey, whether you're a slave to sin. So you ever seen them women dancing to explicit lyrics? They giving themselves over to that. And that's not new. That's been going on in hip hop way back with Little Kim in 1996. So Cardi B and all these people today, they ain't doing nothing but copying off Lil Kim. And that's what people doing. They giving themselves over to sin. They giving themselves over to explicit lyrics. Hip hop is deeper than is deeper than music. When you let those lyrics get in your head, I know I've been there, done that. So that's what it says. Whatever you offering yourself, whatever you give yourself over to. Look at how the women are taking off their clothes and the young men are copying off these rappers. They're copying off these rappers. It's the lyrical content. It ain't got nothing to do with no music. And everything they saying, they trapped by sinful talk. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than music. It's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Yep. Whatever you give yourself over to, and people are giving themselves over to all type of stuff, you become a slave to. People are becoming a slave to these lyrics. Okay, they listening to these people, they buying into what these people say. And the hood life is a mindset. It's not a neighborhood. The hood life is a mindset, not a neighborhood. Because wherever you move, you take that mindset with you. But in hip hop, people are being brainwashed with these lyrics. Okay, giving themselves over to these lyrics, to the lyrical content. The lyrical content in hip hop. They're trapped by their sinful talk. Whatever you say, whatever you give yourself over to, do you not know that when you offer yourself to someone to obey, you are a slave to the one you obey? Whether you are a slave to sin, which lead to death, will lead to righteousness, and be thankful to God that you used to be a slave to sin. Now you have come to obey from your heart the pattern of righteousness and a claim. So whatever you give yourself over to, and the dudes that listen to the lyrics about violence, they giving themselves over to it too. So hip hop is deeper than rap, it's deeper than music. In the 80s, hip hop used to be about lyrical content. Okay. But when it got to the 90s, that was it. Okay. And if a lot of those rappers wasn't rapping death and destruction, a lot of you consumers wouldn't be listening. If they wasn't rapping them and glorifying the hood and glorifying crime, you wouldn't listen. You say, man, that's whack. I ain't listen to that because it don't sound like I wanted to. See, that's a problem. God has given us a gift to glorify him, but these people so desperate for money and fame, they'll put anything out. And people just buy into it. People just buy into it and just eat it as if it's the truth. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. These dudes banging on wax. They're not living that way. But this to get some money. So the whole message is about lyrical content. So hip hop is deeper than music, it's deeper than rap. But whatever you giving yourself over to, and people are giving themselves over, especially the women. The women are giving themselves over to these twerking lyrics. Okay? And in Proverbs, let's go back to Proverbs. And I'm praying for them though. The whole message was about the lyrical content in hip hop. It said evildoers are trapped by their sinful talk, so the innocent escape trouble. So I'm praying for the rappers who are trapped by their sinful talk, and I'm praying for the consumers who are in love with lyrics that promote death and destruction. I'm praying for you, because if they wasn't rapping about that, you wouldn't listen to it. Bye bye.